Welcome back everyone, Zara here again for another episode of Style Drops. Today Gail has been challenged to create a space using only items from the #1 mass merchandiser, Amazon. But, first, let's have a little chat. Style Drops wants to know what your mindset is when you create a space. Do you create your spaces from a purely functional perspective? Such as, I need a bed and sofa and that will do. Or do you just follow what others do, because it looks good? Or do you take your time to source out different pieces to create a vibe that feels collected over time? As always, the main message here at Style Drops is all about living and aligning with your own authentic style, which is all about discovering and understanding that your style is about courage, not conformity. Many feel that elevated spaces that you see on the socials are only attainable to people with significant disposable income, free time to source and thrift, or work with bespoke artisan connections to create a one-of-a-kind item, leaving many to believe that good design requires access levels that most don't have. So, challenge accepted, Gail will create a living space with actual soul, the kind that tells a story, not a showroom look. And that space must include all of Gail's needed design directives that this channel states on the regular, such as applying needed tension, creating a style direction, adding a need for function, and of course comfort. The space will be created using only items available on Amazon Prime. There will be no vintage scores, no selecting artisan ceramics, and of course no investment pieces. Just the same algorithmic marketplace everyone already uses for vitamins and phone chargers. The point isn't to celebrate Amazon, we all have our own complex feelings about mega corporations. But we all agree, it has leveled up the game for convenience to shop. Plus, any needed links to the items selected will be provided to you, if request them in the comments below. Style Drops has no affiliation with these products from Amazon, and all of these items were selected randomly. The point here is to prove that design fluency matters more than budget or access. If you understand the importance of using scale, tension and story, you can create something functional, comfortable and hopefully stylish even within significant constraints. So let's see if it's possible. Oh, and before selecting a single item we need to know what we're building toward. Not a look, that's formula thinking, but a story with needed tension. So this space will have a story for a person who values both calm and character. Someone who loves to read, works 9 to 5, and really enjoys spending time in their home space, and needs visual rest but refuses common blandness. They are drawn to natural and organic materials, but wants current market touches. It will need to have mandatory coziness without clutter. They prefer browns, dark greys and cognac leathers, but also wants to incorporate black, metals and woods. Also with a desire to create a vibe or story of being time-selected or collected, with a heavy emphasis on a balance of warm plus cool tones. Gail will also incorporate a fusion or balance of both textures and clean lines, with tactile richness. And even though her selections are mass-produced, she will select items that have more of a handmade feel for the room's home accents. Because needed constraint is a must, especially with the unlimited options from this chosen platform. It would be easy for many to manifest analysis paralysis. The drawbacks in this challenge will be Amazon's limitations with certain styles, and inability to see them in person will force Gail to be more intentional and careful when selecting, while taking note of needed measurements are a must for a great outcome. First, let's select the main characters of the room, and for this area it will be a sofa. Next, let's review a rug, chairs, coffee table, a media console, and side tables. And now let's add all of the backup players, such as the lights, art, accents, and any desired greenery. Gail opted for a solid brown sofa, though print sofas are the next must-have style direction. Pattern and color is always subjective, and using Gail's preferred design directives, every space needs varied textures, to avoid lack of interest or flatness within that interior narrative. Now let's start to form the vision of this space. Because this room was designed for a renter, Gail selected peel and stick wallpaper to place on walls, laying it out in one of her signature styling directions, of inserting wallpaper inside trim adhered to the wall. The purchased trim can be painted to match the color of the current wall, then of course fixed into place, giving this rental space some much-needed warmth. Gail's challenges with this space was about just using only one source, and avoiding all of the overused cliché marketplace standard selections, such as a cream sofa, or sectionals, even cream chairs. It was important to blend rough and soft textures, and old and new look and feel within the chosen items, to give it that needed relaxed feel. The story of the space is of someone who values calm and character, the need to add mixed textures, with a variety of chenilles, velvets, jute, metals, and wood grain. Scale and visual interest from the rugs on the floor to the art hung on the walls must all have variation. Applying restraint by not over-decorating, allowing the room to breathe. Allowing the need for restraint by having some areas remain incomplete, which is how rooms stay alive and evolve through the years. Because this was a single showroom selection process from Amazon, these selections will also bring limitations. And those limitations can have a major significance to any space, and it may include the need for a lived-in patina, with a desired use of showing wear, age, and history within some chosen pieces. Seeing the narrative of the space through personal objects, such as vintage discoveries and globally found treasures. Because the main emphasis was avoiding copycat styling. Even though these same products selected are mass-produced, someone else could select these exact same items and style them in a completely different way. The main direction was about creating that cozy or lived-in vibe. This is what most people crave, because all spaces need a soul, and a space is all about how you use it, and what you select and add over time. Such as that weird sculpture you found at an estate sale, because these are the layers that make the foundation of your story. Along with knowing the restraint to let the room be incomplete, and letting the space evolve with time. This Amazon challenge video isn't about proving you can create a stylish space from mass-market items. It's about proving that constraints don't prevent good design, they just require better design thinking and placement. Understanding needed juxtapositions, scale, and texture matters infinitely more than access to rare and expensive pieces. The person who understands how a room works can create something compelling at any price point, from any source. But, and this matters, it's all about finding the courage to think out of the box with your selections. Amazon can sell you a black metal lamp, but it can't make you brave enough to choose it instead of the safe beige one. It can deliver books, but it can't make you display what you actually read instead of what looks impressive. It can ship you some interesting items, but it can't direct you on how to place it in the right place. Styling is everything, and everything is the art of placement. Style is about courage, not conformity. Even when you're working within the ultimate marketplace and mass retailer Amazon, you still have to make the brave choices. So, will you still follow social media algorithms or AI's dominance of their idea of correct advice? Or will you use your own design awareness to create a needed and productive space to tell your own story that feels alive? The items matter less than the intention behind them. Decorating is acquiring items, filling space, checking boxes. Designing with intention is understanding why each item is there and what it's doing for the space. That's the real challenge, designing with authenticity. Until next time, my stylistas, and Gail once again wants to thank each and every one of you for all of your likes and comments and shares. This new and growing channel really appreciates all of the love, and please keep hyping Style Drops. It really means a lot.